Hey, it's James here from Guitarist.com. I'll just cut straight to the chase. Whenever people come to me and pay me for lessons, I've been teaching for close to 18 years now. I'm able to help them because I know one thing that they don't know. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. Real quick before we dive in, if you enjoy learning guitar with me, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. I also have a ton of great stuff to help you learn guitar faster. There's links to all that in the description down below. Now, rather than talk about this concept forever, I just want to show you an example so that you're going to get this right away. Let's say you want to learn how to play Tangled Up In Blue by Bob Dylan, and it goes like this. The mistake that people often make is they try to learn it exactly like that, note for note right away. And I'll be honest, that method has a very low success rate. But doing it that way makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you're learning how to draw and someone says, draw a tree, you're going to try your best to draw a tree and capture every single detail. You'll draw the leaves, the trunk, the branches, And if you spend enough time on it, it will probably start looking pretty good. Now, imagine somebody says, draw a tree, and they set a timer for 10 seconds. At this point, if you're a seasoned artist, you might have the muscle memory to quickly throw something together. But if you're new to drawing or even just decent at drawing, you'll be lucky if you can get a stick figure tree on the paper in that amount of time. And that's what makes learning music so unique and why we have to approach it in a different way. The beat keeps going and you got to keep up with it. There's a built-in time limit when it comes to playing music. You don't just have all day to get something out there. If you spend all day getting something out there, the rhythm isn't there, and that's a huge chunk of what makes it sound like music. Now, back to our example, the goal is to play it like this. But just look at that crazy tab. Every single detail is captured for sure. It's definitely accurate, but just memorizing that would be awfully complicated and take way longer than it needs to. Rather than look up the tab and struggle for hours trying to learn every detail and maybe kind of being able to play it after a few weeks of practicing every day, why don't we start with this? And I'll be honest, that does not sound anywhere near as cool as what he's playing on the album. But it is something that you'll be able to play consistently. It's like the outline of the tree that we're drawing. That is something that you can get down during that time limit. You can make it sound musical and somebody could even sing along to it. And it has a lot of the same components in it. It has the same chord shapes. The feeling is there and the strumming pattern. So we're getting a couple elements of the final product. And that's the whole point of simplifying it. We're still being musical, because memorizing the right notes in the right order doesn't really mean much unless it feels good. Even as I play it in this really simple way, people can still sing along. And that's the most important thing, that you're making everything that you practice sound musical. Simplify it until you can play it in a musical way. That is the secret. Now, as far as how much to simplify it, everybody has their own comfort level. I mean, for me, not to brag or anything, but I just listened to it and I could play it pretty much right away because that's my comfort level. But I worked my way up to there. I used to have tons of trouble switching between just adding that one finger on the chord, and by doing this kind of thing a whole bunch of times for 20 years, I'm able to kind of do it and just go through all the steps really quick. But anyways, as far as your journey is concerned, you start in that simple way, doing the most elementary thing, focusing on the chord switches with your fretting hand and keeping a steady rhythm. And at that point, you're literally playing the song in a simple way. Then we can start to add. We take a look or listen to the original version, and maybe you start noticing the picking, all this individual note picking stuff, that kind of thing. And maybe that's too big of a leap, so let's not go that far. And what I'm doing there, I'm playing a downstroke on beat 1, and then a small downstroke on beat 2. I call it a root strum. I'm just aiming for the thicker strings of that chord. And I just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I switch chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing, just a big strum and then a little strum, alternating. Counting to 4 on each chord. Pretty straightforward. Now, let's do a more accurate strumming pattern. And what I'm doing there, I'm, for the first measure, doing the exact same thing. Down, root, just like we did before. But on the A sus4, as I add my finger, I start with a root, and then I go. Play up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Take a look at the counting. That's the most important part. On beat 1, I play my root, and then and 2, and 3, and 4, and I'm making really small motions, but I'm also kind of like building it as I go. Like I start a bit quieter, and then I get loud near the end. That was like a bit of an exaggeration, but that's what I'm doing, So we're adding feeling, expression, dynamics would be the technical term for that, through the strumming. And if you look at the way that I'm strumming it, the actual motions of my hand, it looks very similar to when I'm doing our final product. My hand is following the same trajectory, and once again, we're building our muscle memory in the right direction, and we're going to end up where we want to be one step at a time. So once we can do that, we've taken care of the chords and the strumming of it, it's starting to sound pretty good. We're just going to take a look at what's missing, and we're not doing that pull-off thing. We're also not doing the accurate picking thing where we're picking the exact strings like you'd hear on the recording. So that's what we're going to do next. We'll pick one of those and add them one at a time, and we're going to be growing our skills in the right direction. So let's add that picking. So I'm starting off by picking the A string, then the D string, and then I do a strum, and then I pick the D string. And as far as the rhythm's concerned, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty straightforward. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the next measure, pretty much the same thing as before. We just strum the bottom 2 strings, the A and D strings, and then up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Same thing on the same beats with our suspension down there. So. And you do that slowly till it sounds and feels really good. And then finally we add the pull off. So what we're doing there, let's just pay attention to our second measure. And then we do a pull off on beat 1. We're kind of bleeding into the start of the A chord, right? So 1 and pulling off from our pinky to our ring, and then we continue our pattern. D string, strum, D string. So that pull off bleeds into the next measure as you repeat it. We don't start with it. And there you go. Instead of spending 6 weeks memorizing this thing, 6 weeks of not really playing the song, just treating it like an exercise, we're playing the song on the first or second day in a simple way, and then we just keep improving, keep building up the song bit by bit, playing music the whole time until we end up where we want to be. And honestly, a lot of the time you're going to end up there so much faster. It's going to keep you motivated. This method is way better than memorizing tab in every single way. I'm going to be honest, it's a tab world out there. I have some tab books. You can see those ones back there. They're here in my studio, but I only come in here to film lessons. I haven't opened one of those books in like 12 years. And the reason why is because every time I do, I get frustrated. Honestly, I'm pretty good at reading tab. I can read standard notation, which is way better than tab, by the way. But it's faster and better to just listen to the song and figure it out. And the concept that I'm showing you today puts you on the road to being able to do that. It allows you to listen to something, realize that you can play it in a simpler way, and then just you're listening to each layer. You learn to hear each layer. It improves your ear. Over time, your senses are going to sharpen. You're going to notice more and more things because you're constantly deconstructing guitar down to its simplest elements. If you enjoyed this lesson, I would love it if you could take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to help support Good Guitarist, there are links in the description to some stuff that you're going to love, like my courses, which make learning guitar fun and are going to help you reach your goals even faster. I've done all this work breaking it down for you and put it into those courses. Either way, have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.